Hi everyone, it's Tammy at Frou-frou Studio. Welcome back. Today we are going to, or I am going to, give you a quick recap of what I have in mind for Junk Journal Madness for this month. The host of this monthly journal challenge is Susan, and I totally love it. And she is actually the host collaborator this month because it is her birthday month. Happy birthday, Susan. And so when she put the all the different selections into the little spinner, the theme that came up was, I want to be sure I get this right, remnants, leftovers, and mashup, which I think is a great theme because we all have leftovers, don't we, when we make a journal where we've printed digitals and maybe not used them all. Or we have scrapbook paper, and we have little pieces left, and just all kinds of stuff in our stash. Excuse me. So I think that's a great theme. And then because it's her birthday month, she picked 15 makes and 15 materials, but those are optional this month, because she has challenged everyone to make something that they've never made before. A type of journal or folio or an altered book or something that you haven't done. So I am going to try to embrace all that this month. And I have gathered up a bunch of stuff, and so I'm going to show you what my plan is, and hopefully you guys will participate in this as well. And with all of you that participated last month with my theme of grungy, and you had not done grungy before, and you did such a good job, I feel like that you know, I should do the same and get outside that kind of same thing that I always do, which is grungy, and do something different. So that's what I'm going to do. I apologize for being absent for a few days. My crick in my neck that I was complaining about last week ended up being, I think, like a pinched nerve or something. So by Wednesday night, I was having spasms in my neck. I couldn't lay down. I couldn't, you know, get in any position to lay down. So I spent Wednesday night pretty much upright in a recliner all night. It was horrible. Thursday, I could not move my neck at all in any direction. Again, night in the recliner. It was horrible. And then on Friday, I was able to get a little bit of mobility back and was able to actually sleep in the bed, but only on my back, and I'm not a back sleeper. So by the time Saturday got here, that was 3 pretty much no sleep nights. And although my neck felt tremendously better by Saturday, I was exhausted, so I didn't do anything Saturday. And then yesterday, what I did, so as to not push it, I got all this together and decided that I would wait till today to actually do some crafting and make videos. So I apologize for that, but I couldn't do it. I seriously could not move in any direction. It was horrible. All right. So with all that being said, this is what I'm going to do. This is a book that I got at a thrift store, and it's got this wonderful handmade paper on the inside. It's real fibery, soft handmade paper. And I bought it with the intention of taking it apart and using the paper in it in journals. So as I was thinking about the challenge, excuse me, I need to get a drink here. I never get a scratchy throat until I start filming. Excuse me. I decided that I wanted to use this book. And this book is... Yeah, I'm going to sneeze. I'm telling you, this has been the worst spring for allergies I think I have ever suffered in my life. They're horrible. Again, I apologize for that. Ugh, goodness gracious. Sorry, guys, I'm falling apart. But anyway, so this book is a little bit different in that the signatures are sewn, but I may have to pause the camera here just so I can sneeze. But they're also glued in, which is really strange. So what I did is I took out 2 of the signatures so that I would have some room to put some ephemera in. And you can see by doing that, I've created myself, you know, at least this much space to make some ephemera. Now, granted, that's not a lot of space for me, so I'm going to have to be real careful that whatever I do in this journal does not have a lot of bulk to it. So this is what I'm going to be working on, and you can see right here, I hope you can see that. See, they're sewn, but then the separate signatures are glued. And it has a built-in bookmark. So it's a really nice little book. This is fabric, and it's a good color. So this is what I'm going to do. I have done an altered book before, like a regular reading book, but I have not ever done one that is blank. So this will be my journal. Now, as far as the theme goes in the remnants, leftovers, and mashup, I went through all of my project folders. If you guys don't know, or you're new to the channel, I have these folders that I got off Amazon, and they're just like a plasticky mesh folder that will fit 8.5 by 11 pages. And this is what I store all my papers in ephemera in some cases, if it is a particular theme. And I find that this is easier to do than, you know, putting everything up and then grabbing it all back out. And I'll show you an example of one that is filled up. This is my patriotic folder. So everything in here has to do with patriotic, red, white, and blue, 4th of July, you know, everything. I also have some of these, and they hold all the little bitty pieces, and also the little ephemera pieces. So that's what I keep each of the themes in. So, to cause or to fulfill the mashup part of it, I went through each one of them and I pulled something out to use in this journal. So it is going to be very mashed up. Now my nose is running. I'm telling you, I'm falling apart. So, but with that being said, I felt like that I had to have something that tied it together. So what I did is I created color grapes. I'm going to put you on pause for just a minute and blow my nose. Sorry about that. I just know that if I didn't do that, I was going to keep on kind of coughing. So, where was I? Oh, I needed something to tie everything together. So what I did is I picked colors that I wanted to work with, which is, I don't do a lot of bright colors, and so I'm going to try and do that this month too. So I'm going to work with blue and yellow and purple, and this is pinks and reds and greens, and then I have a stack of neutrals that I'm going to use for bases and different things like that, just to kind of, you know, tie everything together. So, and then you can see, if you look at these, where I have gone through, like, for example, there's birds in here, there's flowers, there's butterflies, there's, you know, leftover digitals, there's scrapbook paper, there's end papers, there's whatever the theme was of folder that I was going through. I was pulling stuff out. Here's the pink and red and pinks and reds and kind of oranges. Just all kinds of different things. Here's the purples. I've got things in here from boho journals and florals and, again, butterflies, scrapbook papers. There's some frames, bees. Went through my bees journal, my Parisian journal, folder, all kinds of different, and I did that for each color. There's more end paper, scrapbook papers, there's digitals, there's stitching. I had this, I think, in my grandma's attic folder. So all kinds of different things. And here's the blue. And I've got these were in my Sherlock Holmes folder because they're London. This was in my grandma's attic. No, that was in my flea market folder. Scrapbook papers, there's dragonflies, all kinds of different things. So color will be well represented in this journal, as you can see. I also went through and picked out, put my neutrals in here. Buttons. I went through my buttons and I picked those buttons that match the colors. Now I won't use all these, but whenever I'm sorting buttons, I have a thread cabinet that eventually has divided drawers in it, you know, with the little bitty squares. And eventually all my buttons will be divided by color in that drawer, in those drawers. But I have a ton of buttons, and that takes a lot of time to sit and sort them by color. So every time I go to make a stack of different colors of buttons, or to, you know, do this for a project, I always pick more than I'm going to use when I'm doing it, because then when I'm done, I can take them and put each one in one of those little divided areas, and that's more buttons that I have sorted. So, like I said, I won't use this many buttons in this project, but since I was sorting anyway, this is how many I came across. And for those of you that are interested, I got these on eBay, and they were made for one of the old little kids' stoves that you could actually cook in. And I got a set of like 4 or 5 of them, I think, off eBay. And then I also went through all my washies and stayed in that same color palette and pulled out things that I thought I could use in the journal. So my plan is, as far as laying out the journal, is I want to create, like on each double spread, like, oh, I forgot to mention, where I took out the 2 signatures, which is in the center, I went to the very center and started and took the first one out of the very center. After I cut the thread, no, I'm sorry, I did not cut the threads. I started to, and I was like, no, because that's going to make your book fall apart. I don't think it would have, but it made me nervous enough to think that it might. So what I did is I tore each of the pages I was tearing out from around the threads. And the pages, like I said, are also glued in. But it made kind of an ugly space right there, because of the tearing out of the pages. And so I put a piece of washi tape there that'll just become a part of the decoration. And I think I did it in the other signature as well. Yeah, right here, where I took the other one out. And that's, like I said, that's purely cosmetic, because you can see the book pages are not going anywhere. Okay, I want to mention that. But anyway, my plan is to get through this video without choking to death. No, I'm kidding. Actually, I'm not kidding, but it's not your fault. Okay, so this front page is kind of funky. See how that's glued together like that? So I think what I may end up doing, just because I don't like the way it's laying, is I'm going to incorporate this page into some kind of pocket or something, because it's really getting on my nerves that it's stuck together like that and it doesn't lay flat. So, but anyway, my plan is to do some kind of interactive ephemera on one side and maybe a little collage or stamping, or maybe even mixed media on the other side of these double spreads, so that it's not a completely blank page, but I really want to take advantage of the really pretty, nice paper in here. So that's the plan, Stan. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you've ever done one of these books like this. I'm curious to see how it's going to turn out, and I'm curious to see what I am going to do with it, since I've never done this, and I've certainly, although I like color, this may be, you know, a little cleaner and have a lot more color than a lot of the stuff that I do. So, we'll see how it goes, and I appreciate it. Like I said, everybody who participated last month in my grungy challenge, so I feel like I owe it to Susan to, you know, give it a full shot and meet her challenge. And Susan, I hope you have a great birthday month. My daughter also celebrates a whole month for her birthday. So I thought that was very funny when you said that, because she thinks she should be celebrated all month as well. But with that being said, she is a December child, so it is kind of like she's celebrated all month. Also, speaking of birthdays, today is my third grandson's 10th birthday. So I'm going to give a shout out to him and wish him a happy birthday. He's in the big double digits of 10. And he is the youngest of my daughter's children. So they're all in double digits now. And my granddaughter, which is the oldest, is actually going to turn 16 at the end of this month. So anyway, that's all I've got for today. I'm keeping it short and sweet. I don't want to overdo it, because I'm telling you, I don't like sleeping straight up in the recliner. Or not sleeping, straight up in the recliner, I guess would be more accurate. So I will see you guys tomorrow, where we will do a revisit, relax, rewind. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good evening, and I'll see you then. Bye.